Good afternoon. This is Tim Carter, Superintendent of Wilson Central School District, with messages for September 3rd, 2021. First of all, I want to thank you for viewing this video. This is a reopening update as we get closer to the opening of school. This is a follow-up video to my message that I sent out yesterday with some slight adjustments and changes to our reopening. But first of all, I want to say I hope everyone has just a wonderful Labor Day weekend and gets the last chance to get some sunshine and enjoy their weekend. We're looking forward to the return of students. Had my opening meeting with the staff members this past Wednesday, and I can tell you there was a lot of excitement and joy in the room, getting ready for our students to come back this coming Tuesday. So let me begin by saying thank you for the community, to the parents, to the staff, teachers, everyone in Wilson for the support we get to our schools as we try to bring our students back. I'm going to begin by reminding everyone that our ultimate goal for instruction for this year was to bring our students back 5 days a week in person for instruction. And I can tell you from the number of students, the very low number of students and families that are requesting remote instruction, that there's a priority for getting our students back in person in this community 5 days a week. So I do appreciate that. So we're going to continue with that. We're going to look forward to having our students back next week, Tuesday, and every day, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week in person. Remote instruction, as I mentioned in previous messages, is only by doctor note only. We do have a form at district offices that you can request, and you can call that 751-9399 number, and Mrs. Pavan, the district clerk, will make sure that you're connected with the right person to get that district form to give to the doctor in order to request that remote instruction. That remote instruction form, when filled out, comes back to our school, then it goes to our medical director for verification, and they give the ultimate approval whether or not we go forward with remote instruction. Right now we have a small number, a very handful of students that we're looking at needing remote instruction. We've hired one teacher for each building to deal with the remote instruction students in a number of different ways. If we are not able to accommodate that remote instruction, or if the number stays low, we may use the Erie One Bosse's home hospital instruction for our students that are requesting remote instruction. Health screens. I mentioned this in my last communication. We're kind of asking the parents and the staff members themselves to monitor their own health. You know the checklist that we had last year with the symptomatic items on it for COVID-19, fever, cough, all those items that were on that checklist last year. If you're exhibiting any of those symptoms or have a fever, we're asking that you stay home until those symptoms get better or are resolved. That health screen is not going to be something we're going to be dealing with in school. The time it took to do that just takes away from that in-person instruction that we're trying to prioritize. As I said in my last video, masks are required on bus and all public transportation. That was a mandate from the Department of Health. So when the students get on the bus, if they're taking the bus, they will get on the bus with a mask on, and that mask will remain on for the entire bus ride. Our cleaning sanitation priorities are still in effect. We're going to clean and sanitize our buildings the same way we did last year, and we did a good job making sure that all surfaces are clean, especially high-touch surfaces throughout the day. Kids sent home sick. I mentioned it the last time. I'm starting the year off with, if your child is sent home sick, or if your child is homesick. I know last year they had to have a negative COVID test or a doctor's note. That is still part of how we're opening up this year, so the students can have a doctor's note to return to school. You can have a negative COVID test or a resolution of the symptoms. I will tell you there's been some recent guidance that came out late yesterday, early this morning, that did mention something about those students that go home sick. It's not 100% clear yet what the Department of Health is asking for. If there's any changes to that, I'll make sure that I get that out to the community. But as of right now, if your child is sent home, or if you are homesick, the child can return to school with a negative COVID test, or a note from the doctor, or resolution of the symptoms. There will be quarantines this year. That's not a Tim Carter thing or a Wilson Central School District thing. That's a Niagara County and a New York State Department of Health. So there'll be contact tracers, there'll be quarantines, there's release of quarantines, a letter, the emails to go into self-isolation or quarantine. It'll all be in play this year. I could spend 20 minutes going through all the guidelines for quarantines. All I know is that we stay in close contact with the Department of Health. When there's a positive case in school, we determine a list of who is considered a close contact based upon their guidelines and their guidance, and then we assist the Department of Health in notification. So the last thing we want to do is have a student be out of school, but if that happens, it's because the Department of Health is asking us to quarantine. Masks, the all-important masks conversation. So there was guidance that came down late last week, early this week, that mandated masks in school. So I did have a conversation with our staff on Wednesday, and as I said, when the students get on the bus, they're going to have to be wearing a mask. When they enter the school building, they're going to have to be wearing a mask. I did ask my staff that when the students are sitting in their seats, similar to last year, that they give them a mask break. We are required to give mask breaks, so I'm asking similar to what we did last year. When a student comes into class and sits down, I'm asking them to give them a mask break. The duration of that mask break is entirely up to the teacher, but again, similar to last year, when a student is sitting down, I'm asking that they give them a mask break. Sports, both indoors and outdoor sports, are in full swing. In fact, games started this week, including a football game this evening. Outdoor sports, there's no mask mandate. There's just recommendation of masks. However, for indoor sports, which is for us volleyball, there is a mandate for masks indoor while you're inside watching the volleyball game. Again, if there's any questions, comments, concerns, please don't hesitate to call me at 751-9399. You also can email me at tcarter@wilsoncsd.org. I get many emails and phone calls throughout the days. Probably the biggest one is around that whole masking issue, and I've responded to parents and who have given me multiple solutions to this, and I'll just say, listen, I don't make the guidelines, I don't make the recommendations, I don't make the mandates. All I know is when a mandate comes down from New York State, I'm a state employee certified under New York State as an educator. I have to follow it. So I love to have that debate with anyone, and what my personal opinion and what I have to do, because this is my school district and I want the kids to be here and I want them to be in person 5 days, is two separate things. So I appreciate everybody's support. I'll continue to communicate as I have throughout this pandemic with you, and whether it be through a video or whether it be through individual email, or if you want to pick up the phone and call me at 751-9399, I'll be glad to give you a call back. If nobody answers, it goes to answer machine. Please leave a message. Mrs. Pavan will be in Tuesday morning. She'll get the messages to me, and I'll spend the first couple days of school getting back to you. So like I said, I appreciate it. Again, I'm going to go through the masks one more time. When a student's entering the bus, they're going to need to have a mask on. All adults, masked on the bus. Driver, an aide on the bus, all students on the bus need to have a mask. When they get to school and they enter the building, they're going to have a mask on. Students and staff, when up and moving on, they have to have a mask on. I have asked my staff that when the kids are in the classroom and they sit down, to give them a mask break. And again, if they get up, they got to put the mask back on. But to give them a mask break, depending on the classroom, the teacher is going to have to be very, very diligent on how they go do those mask breaks. Some of our classrooms, the kids sit next to each other because of the design of the table. You can't be sitting right next to each other and both have the masks off. There has to be some kind of alternating back and forth. Our staff did an awesome job. The majority of our staff did an awesome job last year with the mask breaks, and I'm sure they're going to take care of it the same way. I have confidence that they have our students' best interest in mind. Again, I want to say have a really healthy and happy holiday break. I know it's not necessarily the message everybody wants to hear, but it's the one that's going to get us all of our kids in school 5 days a week. Have a great Labor Day weekend, and as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay Wilson strong.